Hey everyone, I'm Stephanie Clairmont, registered dietitian, and you are watching Relief TV, helping you improve your life with IBS and reduce symptoms and feel a whole lot better, more like your normal self. Today, in this episode, we're going to talk about what IBS actually is and the symptoms of it, and what to do next if you feel like you have IBS. So let's start with a couple of abbreviations. You might have heard of IBS and IBD. What's the difference? They're very different. IBS stands for irritable bowel syndrome, whereas IBD stands for inflammatory bowel disease. And inflammatory bowel diseases include both Crohn's and colitis and are very different with different symptoms and different diagnosis than IBS is. Today, we're going to dig in a little more about IBS and talk about that specifically. So we want to look at what the definition of IBS is, and we'll use the Merck manual, which is used by health professionals to define conditions and diseases. And what the Merck manual says is that IBS is actually consists of reoccurrent abdominal pain or discomfort. And what that means is reoccurrent is happening more than once. So you're experiencing the pain or discomfort more than once. It could be often, it can be different, but reoccurrent pain or discomfort in the abdominal region, along with 2 of 3 symptoms. And the following 3 symptoms are all about bowel movement. So the first is relief with defecation, and that means that the abdominal pain or discomfort is actually relieved when you defecate or when you have a bowel movement or a poo. The other 2 are a change in frequency of stool or a change in consistency of stool, meaning frequency, perhaps you had or you have had normally 1 bowel movement a day, and now you're experiencing 1 bowel movement every 3 days, or 1 bowel movement every 5 days, or you could be having like 3, 4, or 5 bowel movements every day. So whether it's more often or less often, that change in frequency is associated with IBS. Change in consistency as well, which means you could be normally having just like 1 soft solid and that's your bowel movement, but now you're having more hard, dry stool, or the other side of it is loose, watery stool, more like diarrhea. So some kind of change in your bowels along with pain or discomfort. That's what IBS is, and there is that diagnostic criteria. Some people have heard or think that IBS is a diagnosis of exclusion, meaning I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this, so it must be IBS. And that's not true. You should be using the diagnostic criteria with your doctor. Your doctor should be using the diagnostic criteria to help you understand what's going on in your body. So if you do experience any of the symptoms that we're talking about today, it's important that you book an appointment with your doctor so that they can do some more screenings and tests to diagnose what's actually going on in your body and give you a plan or a path to take your next steps. At the Clairmont Digestive Clinic, we get referrals from all kinds of wonderful health professionals, doctors and nurses and dietitians, sending people our way to actually work with people with IBS and give them a plan to relieve symptoms and get better. So there is help out there. People experience symptoms all differently. So in my 5 years working with people with IBS, I don't think I've ever met 2 people that experience it exactly the same. Other symptoms that you might experience can include bloating or abdominal distension, which is the actual growth of your stomach area. Some of my clients describe that as 6 months pregnant feeling or looking 6 months pregnant. And so that growth can happen through the day, or it can happen after certain meals. And like I said, everyone experiences these symptoms differently. So you might have symptoms throughout the day, every day, or a couple times throughout the week, or maybe just 1 week every 6 weeks. Everyone experiences how often and the severity of those symptoms very differently. You might also have release of gas, so that might be farting or flatulence or burping. Those, along with other symptoms, like I said, everyone's different, and how often you experience them is really inclusive of IBS. But remember that diagnostic criteria has to be there. If you're experiencing bloating or just a lot of gas, which are both awful things just to experience on their own, but you don't have the abdominal pain or discomfort or some kind of change in your bowel movements, then you probably don't have IBS. But again, I'm going to recommend that you go and talk to your doctor so that you can do the tests needed to diagnose what's going on. And once you've done that, you can take the next steps to start feeling better and improving your health. Over the years, I've helped lots and lots of people improve with IBS, and it is possible and you can do it. For more great information and articles and recipes, head on over to my website, stephanieclairmont.com, where we talk about IBS every week. Sign up for our newsletter to get updates. You can also subscribe to the YouTube channel where you can be notified every time a new episode of Relief TV comes out. If you have any questions that you want us to discuss about IBS or the low FODMAP diet here on Relief TV, please send us an email through the contact form on stephanieclairmont.com website. Thanks so much for joining me today on Relief TV. I'm so glad that you stopped by. I'm wishing you the very best in your journey to better digestive health. Have a great day and see you soon.